launched and going. Okay, I think we're good today. We're going to get this launched. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the WDMA. We're going to be talking about direct mail today. I got a smoking hot dog show for you today. I got a little bit crazy over the weekend, so I want you to stick with it. But first, let's get over to the fun. This is from Amazon, and what's going on here is that the ladies are watching kids sled down the hill, and one of them gets this idea to make lives better. That's the theme of Amazon. Make your life a little better. And so she gets an idea, and here we go. She orders from Amazon. She gives the girls a present. Cushion, a butt cushion, and up the hill they go. Woo! Wow. Wow. There you go. Oh, man, I've watched it 3 times now. I still get all choked up because some of us have memories, right? And some direct mail actually tags into those memories, right? That's part of Amazon's theme with their catalog. I found out my style consultant threw hers away after looking through it. I asked her to save it, but she didn't. We'll get even somehow. Anyway, so let's get over to the backstory if we can. Yes, we can. Here it is. Okay. And, that basically tells the story I already told. So let's go on. Let's go on. Now, here's something. Here's something you probably haven't seen. This is from tvnewscheck.com, and it's about local TV ad spending. Okay, I mean local media spending. Okay, I don't know their definition of local versus national, right? I don't know that, but I was shocked, and I'll give you the backstory on it in a minute. They've got mobile at 34 billion, direct mail at 33.4 billion, laptop at 27, local TV at 20, and local radio at 12 or 13. But I was shocked because you never see mail mentioned at all as advertising. You just never see it. I looked at dozens of these kinds of infogram things, and mail wasn't even listed. I'll get to that shortly. But anyway, so they said mobile advertising is expected to surpass direct mail for the first time as the economy grows and overall spending ad spend reaches 161 billion. This only adds up to about 120 billion. So unbeknownst to me, like almost exactly 3/4 of ad spend is local. And up until this year, the way they slice it up, direct mail has been the biggest advertising medium in local advertising. Did not know that. I thought direct mail was dead, right? Didn't you? Have you ever seen a graphic with mass media where direct mail is at the top, right? And according to USPS and a lot of graphics I found, direct mail is about 40 billion, which means of that 40 billion, 7 billion is mail, right? Of the 40 billion of national advertising, 7 billion of it is mail. We don't know the rest of the shakeup because they never include it at all. But that's a pretty significant percentage, right? Right? That's 18% or something of all national media is mail. 18%. That's going to beat a lot of media, I'll tell you that, depending on how you slice it. And they also said that traditional media was more than half, whatever that is. Okay? For a long time, we've been talking about direct mail as king of the share of wallet in local ad spending, said Rick Duncy, it looks like, I don't know, managing director of BIA Advisory Services. Again, not sure. For the first time ever, we passed the crown to first time? I thought digital was the biggest for like 20 years. I thought digital was all there was in advertising. Why do I think that? Because I read advertising news every day. And that is the way it sounds. It sounds like digital is king every day, all the time, since 1995 when the internet got invented. Well, let's go on to another article, okay? I got this from AdAge yesterday, the other day. I tried really hard to access an article, which was written by Phoebe Bain. Really, really amazed. It was titled, Why Direct-to-Consumer Brands Are Increasing Direct Mail Marketing in AdAge magazine. I got so excited, okay? I thought, wow, AdAge is finally waking up to the fact that mail isn't dead and is effective as advertising. Can you believe this? I can't even believe it, right? Thank you, Phoebe. But then, I couldn't get at the article because AdAge has the best paywall. And though I can get into almost everything, I've been almost unstoppable. I haven't been able to get this article, so I have not read it. But I recommend it. If you're a subscriber to AdAge, then I recommend you go get it. Okay? So then they asked me, want to finish reading why direct-to-consumer brands are increasing their direct mail marketing? Who would have thought that? Subscribe and get 20% off. So they offered me 20% off. I declined. Why? Okay? Because the mass media general ad world has not recognized the power of direct mail or even acknowledged its existence. Okay? AdAge, you almost never talk about the power of direct mail, even though it's a huge industry, right? Like I found out. Okay, and I was a panelist last week at the Association of National Advertisers, so somebody in that group thinks direct mail is important, and they also recently published my article, AI in Direct Mail Marketing. Maybe we should do an investigative article about why ad agencies don't do mail, while they basically talk you out of it. Okay, so I started looking stuff up. Direct mail is a huge hidden industry, $40 billion a year. Okay, this is the last 2022 to 2019. Okay, that other article was the results from 2022. So this is right up to date. Okay, but when I actually looked at national advertising media spend, you couldn't even find mail. This is very typical. Now, in defense of this article, this is actually not a bad one because it was about online media. Okay, but it was nice and clear, and most of them had the same categories: television, online, radio, newspaper. Is newspaper online? No, I think it was about the viewing time. Okay, viewing time. But I just featured an article last week about the viewing time of mail, which was done in the UK. Okay, so mail had the highest viewing time of any form of advertising. People spend 150 minutes on average with a mailing piece. Okay, outdoor, right? So is mail in there? No, it's not even listed. Not even listed, right? This is media expenditures. We got, and it doesn't say the amount, but we got $40 billion hiding around there, okay? And I found dozens of graphics like this, dozens of graphics that don't even include mail at all. None, okay? Why not? I don't know. Here's that graph before it, cut in half, but here you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wouldn't have thought direct mail has been the leading one for probably decades, forever. That's basically what the article said. Forever, mail's been the top. Now, finally, mobile has surpassed it. But, you know, if you did head-to-head testing. If the media companies were promoting mail, they're not. They're saying digital is everything. Digital is everything. Everything, everything, everything. You're nuts to do mail. I've been fighting this since 1995. I swear. The CFO says, why do we pay $3 million in postage every year? And we don't even get terms. That's what they say. And we have to fight it. And we can fight it. That's the point. I've been successfully fighting all other media, at least since 1995, when the internet came along and bulldozed direct mail off to the side. And I'm a little upset about it. You know, I have memories of getting calls from Fortune 100 companies saying, could you help us with our mail? Yes, I did. Nowadays, mail doesn't even exist. Why is there no mail in advertising news? Why? I'm sorry to get so worked up, but you know, sometimes I do. Well, maybe it's because it's labeled as junk. Although, it doesn't get that moniker so often anymore because digital is so much junkier. It's such a fraud. It's literally fraud on top of fraud on top of fraud. Whereas at least with mail, it's something worth mailing. It's something that you might value. And I can tell you that mailers go to enormous amounts of trouble. I've been in AI, machine learning, for literally almost 30 years, just trying to make sure we don't send it to people who don't want it. There's a lot you can do. A lot more than most mailers will do. But, you know, it's when you're spending $1 per piece or something like that, you don't want to just throw them into the wind. And we've never, ever wanted to throw them into the wind. I can tell you that. Okay? Every other media is less cost per piece and less careful about where they go. Okay? Which is why digital is rampant with fraud. But anyway, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's because advertisers don't really want the accountability of mail, where we know who we mailed to. We know it gets delivered. We know it goes to a decision maker because not everybody can throw the mail away, right? We know that it has to be decided upon because mail doesn't throw itself away, right? And sometimes we get an order and we can match them all back, even though we go to the website to place the order and digital will take credit for all of it. But we can track it back anyway because we know who we mailed. And we also know who the engaged non-buyers are. No other media gives you that. Right, Peg? Okay, so I think, having been in a direct agency for a while as the direct mail guy, I think that accountability is one. Agencies don't want accountability. They don't want to really, really know the hard numbers. They don't. I can tell you. They want to win awards. Okay? But also, agencies are limited in their markup. Agencies say, oh, wait, we have to pay the postage up front? We don't get a discount? We don't get a commission, an ad markup, an ad agency discount, 17.5%? No, you don't get anything. You pay it all up front. So most of the time, they have their clients pay that. No markup. Okay? Oftentimes, the printing, same thing. A lot of printers don't give a 17.5% rebate to the agency, right? I mean, they might have a side deal, but if the client finds out, they can quickly cut almost 20% of their cost. And so, mostly, clients pay the printing directly, okay? No markup. So the only thing that the agency gets to mark up is the creative. And oftentimes, if the client goes head-to-head, you know, A/B splits the creative with somebody that actually knows what they're doing in mail, the agency gets crushed. So agencies know that they have a potential for losing a lot of money. A lot of money's on the table. Now, digital, on the other hand, this is an article from Dr. Augustine Fu. Digital has layers and layers and layers of intermediates that all can add a little markup. And oftentimes the agency controls all of them, or many of them. And so the agency can get 30, 40, 50, 60% of the ad cost. A number of advertisers in this article said they were spending, let's say they were spending $100,000. 60,000 went to the intermediaries and the agencies. Only 30 or 40,000 went to the actual publishers for the actual ad. No wonder the agency news is so hot on digital advertising. No wonder the agencies love digital. And I highly recommend just paging through Dr. Augustine Fu's work. Because not only is the agency side corrupt, but a lot of the clicks and likes and all the rest of it are fraud. Okay? Well, in defense of AdAge, I decided after I'd kind of written this article, I welcome your comments. After I'd written this article, I went back to see how many times had direct mail been mentioned in any articles in AdAge. I used Google, and I found 13 articles in 28 years. In 28 years. Not even 2 articles a year mentioned direct mail in AdAge. And 2 of them were about its possible demise to digital. So here's the articles. I'll put the links in the show notes. Okay. Here's the good one, or I don't know if it's any good. I didn't read it, but here's the one by Phoebe, and there was one by a noted direct mail agency. I put in some of the notes of who wrote them. This one's by an agency. There's one that LL Bean rebrands to be more digital, less direct mail. It's not even positive, right? So out of the 13, only 11 were positive at all. Direct mail marketing takes a dive, not positive, right? And that's it. 28 years. 28 years. Can you believe it? Man. So let's see my article. Let's get over here. Whoops, let's see the comments. Go back to this one. There's some great comments. I tried to tag everybody I know, but I have 12,000 first level connections, and I found out that LinkedIn has a limit. So if you didn't get tagged in the article, it wasn't because I didn't want you. I was just looking through my notes and looking through my messages, and I picked them in order to try to stay organized. Okay, Joe Manis says, in my experience, working with some leading agencies, when they've exhausted the digital investment and the customer is asking for new, innovative ways to get more engagement from their large audience, that's when they bring out the direct mail. It's like when they're forced to by the client. Okay, once they try direct mail, says 3 to 4 years later, it's still a critical piece of the brand strategy. Okay, and we're talking about millions of pieces. Steve Falk had just been touring over in Europe, and he said, as a Canadian on a tour of DM agencies in EU and UK this week, I can say your sentiments are also shared outside the US. Those digital-first agencies won't necessarily serve your brand with the same unbiased focus on your desired business outcomes. I mean, the fact is, even if we don't like direct mail, even if we don't think it works, we're so darn good at testing, we know what's working. And if you're legitimate at all, if you're a direct marketer at all worth your salt, all you care about is discovering what's working and what isn't. Solving the John Wanamaker puzzle. Half my advertising is wasted. I wish I knew which half. I wish I could talk to John today, right? Okay, so I did look up the connections, the first level connections I have, because I have connections in almost every publication in the advertising news sector, because I reach out to people who write the articles. I reached out to Phoebe over the weekend. I have 13,477 as of Saturday. Connections, I have 0 in AdAge magazine. None of them care to follow me. Can't figure out why. Sandy Hubbard says agencies hate to front the required prepaid postage. She confirmed that with she said agencies hate the money going out in advance. Okay, my point exactly. And she talks about her publication. David Foley writes, do you think this direct mail thing will stick? If so, I'm with you, and I do not subscribe to AdAge. Now, in their credit, they've had 3 or 4 good ones in the last 3 or 4 years. But it certainly doesn't seem to be the due that's due direct mail for being a $40 billion industry. I hope you like and share. Have a great day. Feel free to comment. I hope you will. Go read the article. I'll put a tag in the show notes. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the encouragement that you've been. We're up over 2,000% in impressions, whatever the heck that means for LinkedIn. But we're over 2,000% up from a year ago. So thank you for watching. Bye-bye.